Hello and welcome to Noobs in Progress. My name is Nathan, and here with me I have
Ethan Murphy, his friend.
that it's not a dismount. That's I guess it's a dismount. I don't know. It's a.
No, I was confused and concerned. It was all the above because I love listening to that theme song, and I had the volume maxed out on my computer and still couldn't hear the.
Oh, you couldn't hear it. Crap. All right.
No, I have no idea what happened.
Oh, jeez. Let me. You know what it might have been? I hope this isn't it. I hope that isn't a problem. It might have been. I had a particular button selected that shouldn't be selected, so I need to fix it. But we'll fix that later.
Or we won't. Or we won't. As our names imply, noobs. We are noobs to everything. So
we'll fix that and then create a whole other problem in the process. That's what I do.
That's our formula.
Because that whole thing I was telling you about just before we got started, where it's like, oh, I figured out how to program the buttons to be more complicated than just one thing. I think in doing that, but anyway, all inside baseball that nobody gives a shit about.
No one. I'm listening to it. So,
yeah. You don't care. But so how you doing, Ethan? How you been?
I'm good. I'm good.
That's good.
My friend Dustin off an old chestnut there. Another inside baseball. How are you, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing quite well today. Having a good day today. It's ready to go to bed though. I'll admit that. It's been a long week. It's been a long week.
Good.
I'm glad I still have one day off.
That's nice. Congratulations. Let me ask you a personal question. You don't feel comfortable sharing. You don't have to. What temperature is it there where you are?
Oh, geez. Today, it got up to 84 degrees today.
Oh, no, look at you. Oh, that's cute. Because currently where I am, it is 94 degrees in my apartment. And I have no AC. And don't even really have a refrigerator. I have a little tiny college one. So basically, I have a fan blasting into my face right here. So if you hear some wind and sweat coming into my mic, that's what it is. It's
yes.
falling apart.
Yes.
On the air.
Well, let me. That's fine. That's no big deal. I might be able to help with that a little bit, and
really?
I hopefully. Yeah, not really. Just to make it so that way we can't hear the fan.
It's from heat. I was so happy. Oh, maybe he'll send me a giant block of ice or a penguin that can dance or something.
Nope, we are no longer being bothered by your fan. I just flipped a switch to make it that we can't hear your fan anymore, and that's fine.
Oh, that's the help. Thanks, friend.
Sorry, I didn't help in any other meaningful way to you. Sorry.
It's all right. I'll see you in hell. Looking forward to it.
Sucks to be you. Anyway. But I feel bad. I know it's kind of bananas out there, and also you're currently your area of the country is on fire right now.
Yeah, literally. Not my exact part of the city, but yeah, the other parts are.
Yeah,
it's speaking of all kinds of happy, pleasant news. Do you want to tell them what we're watching next? To smash cut. The smoothest segue gets smash cut there is.
California wildfires. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Whee!
They go together really well. Really well.
They're both disasters from what we've heard. So next week we shall be watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is the Andrew Garfield one. Yes, and I still, oh God, I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that Paul Giamatti plays the Rhino.
Academy Award nominated actor.
Yeah,
Paul Giamatti.
Giamatti.
I'm sorry, he's the heat stroke. I'm having heat stroke.
Oh my lord. And then also Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx, is that who it was? Jamie Foxx.
Academy Award winner.
Yes, Academy Award winner. Jamie Foxx is Electro. Is that who he is?
Yes.
Electro.
Yeah. I love how these questions, you seem confused as you say these things out loud.
Yeah,
it'll only get worse as you see it on the screen.
Well, that's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like, as I'm saying them, even though I know the facts are correct, there's a part of me that's like, really? You must fact check this before because this is obviously something that's going to get me, trolled on the internet for saying something that wrong,
Yes. Here's the sad part. Even though these are true facts, saying them out loud will still get you. That's that part. Saying those true facts out loud will still get you trolled. Simply saying Jamie Foxx played Electro will get you trolled hard. Not because it's false, but because it's true.
Yeah. Oh God. I still can't. Anyway. So we're watching that next week, and we're actually doing a little special thing that we're going to be dropping. Yes. Sometime this week. We're not exactly sure when because time. We haven't figured out time yet. But we're actually going to do a watch along where Ethan and I will watch this movie together live. We will probably do it here on the stream. But we will be doing a watch along where he and I will watch this movie together at the same time. So that way Ethan can see my incredulous face as this movie just completely blows my freaking mind. So yeah, that's pretty much
To be more clear, to be completely honest, I am not going to watch the movie. I'm going to watch you watch the movie. Because you are the real entertainment here. The movie's just on the side. I'm watching you the entire time.
Yeah, he'll have it on. He'll have the movie on.
It'll be on. It'll be on.
Yeah. But yeah, holy crap. So yeah. That is what we're doing next week. So we have our traditional questionnaire. Ethan, would you like to bring that up and
you've gotten more and more like Neo dodging the bullets as you try to avoid saying the name. It's the name we both agreed upon in church around your small kids.
In church, I don't go to church.
As heathens that we are, the Noobs in Progress pre-coital questionnaire. It just sounds good saying it out loud.
Wow, yeah.
Right to God. Question number one. It's funny because this is obviously going to be pretty similar to the first list we went. The first time we did this list, but we're still going to, for the sake of the show, for the sanctity of the show, integrity of the show, have to do the pre-coital questionnaire. So, question number one on the pre-coital questionnaire. Have you heard of the film?
Yeah, yes, but not much about it apparently until recently.
That's true. It's amazingly so. Now, what have you heard about the film? I'm guessing outside of me. I'm curious.
Nothing. Zero. I'm not going to count the episode from the other day where I was educated about this film. But outside of that, nothing. Zero. Zilch. I knew Andrew Garfield was in it, and that it didn't do that great. And it was a couple of years later that we finally got the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah. And you're a smart person, so I'm sure you had your deductive reasoning, and you could figure out, well, if this movie led to the removal of that lead, obviously this movie wasn't too well received.
I made some mental leaps. Let's just say that.
Fair.
That were not very large leaps. Mental hops.
Exactly. Very gradual hops.
Skips, if you will.
Question number 3. By the way, fans, if you haven't seen Nathan Beatty Jr. the Third skip, actually frolic. You haven't lived.
Oh man, I really wish that I had the sound bite of Homer going, "Woohoo! Look at that blubber fly!" I really wish I had that cue. Right there. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
Boy can dream. Boy can dream. Question number 3. Why haven't you seen it?
Well, I think a big reason is. Yeah, I just didn't see the first one, and then not hearing much of anything of the others, I just was like, meh.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. If you Obviously, it's the first one. Why bother? The second one, also hear the positivity of the first or second. Why bother? Makes sense too.
Yeah.
Now, are you a fan of the genre? Now, with this question with the genre, I think we're just keeping it to superhero films.
Yes, I am a fan of the genre. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because the next question is, are you a fan of the franchise? Now, here's what gets a little sticky. Because this should be pertinent to the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, not just Spider-Man in general.
Well, I will say I am. I'm not like it. It definitely it was elevated above the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man pretty quickly. But it didn't hit the Tom Holland one. It didn't get anywhere near that one. But I still enjoyed it. Had a good time. So yeah.
Right on. Okay. And I you and I in the same boat all around, actually. And just for words of the wise, Nathan Benny Jr. and I's favorite Spider-Man movie is actually Into the Spider-Verse. So that's the bar that we have. Is that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, while we're on the question of franchise, did you ever finish that Spider-Man game for PS4?
Actually, I didn't. I still have it. I'm about midway through the thing. I think I'm actually in the middle of I'm in the middle or I just finished the Miles Morales' missions.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Spoiler alert, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No. I mean, they already announced the new game for him. So yeah. That's cool.
But
I know where you are then.
Yeah. I'm at that point. I just got caught up in doing side missions, and then life happened, and I was like, okay, So.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that can easily distract you if you're trying to do this. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. Question number 6. What are you hoping to see?
Oh God. I don't know how to answer this because I just knowing who the villains are, there's a cognitive dissonance there that I just can't quite get over. Oh God, I'm hoping that the scenes with Jamie Foxx and Paul Giamatti, at the very least, that the acting is good. Okay.
I refuse.
My hopes are dashed. I have a feeling you were like you had like a thumbtack in your thumb. You were just like, not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything at all.
That's fair. A fair assessment. I don't want to give anything away. That's all. I really don't want because for anyone who knows who listens to the show, watch the show. After we finished reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man, and it was revealed then at the very end that Nate had not seen or even heard of Amazing Spider-Man 2, the cast or what was going on in that movie. Watching him literally have an aneurysm, bordering on an orgasm, was so epic that it's like I was determined not to give any more away. Because imagining think about it this way: what if we had just agreed to watch the sequel, and you didn't know anything, and you went in there blind, and you saw these actors pop up on the screen in these roles? Imagine, just your brain would have broken in half.
Oh my God, I don't know how I would have handled it. Like seriously, yeah. So I am glad I got the warning. I am glad because though I gotta say. There is a part of me that I kind of wish I was in the timeline where you hadn't told me, and when the names came, and I would have been like, but in the timeline where you realized that I didn't know, so you were like, we have to do the watch along, so that way I would be like, and then Paul Giamatti comes up, and I go, he's in this? Who's he play? And you go, I say anything, but we don't live in that timeline. That's fine. That's fine.
No.
But I'm yeah.
Yeah. No, I do wish. I mean, it's one of those things where it's a catch-22 because the reason we're watching the movie, especially for the watch along, is because you heard me say which actors were playing which villains, and it was so enticing. It pretty much drove you to want to see the movie. I don't know that you would have made any efforts at all to see it otherwise. So it's kind of one of those situations there. But yeah, fair enough. Question number 6. Question number 7.
Okay.
What are you afraid to see?
Paul Giamatti as the Rhino.
And that's the thing. It's in the movie, and you should be afraid to see it. I've seen the movie, and I'm still afraid to see it.
Jamie Foxx as Electro. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
They're fears. There be fears.
Yeah, they're literally valid. There are a few things in this world is valid. Now, I obviously won't watch you the entire. I won't keep my eyeballs on you the entire 2 hours, whatever runtime. But there are specific moments in this movie that I know are coming up that I am going to do nothing but just watch your face. Like if the camera's on me and you, as you can see for the stream or for the watch along, you're gonna just see my eyeballs peeled on you because I want to see your exact reactions to a couple of things pertaining to Jamie Foxx and to Paul. So yeah.
So yeah, and I'm gonna be able to tell those scenes because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be watching, and I'm gonna see out of my corner of my eye. I'm gonna see you going.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And I'm gonna be like, oh shit, time to brace.
Yes, brace yourself, my friend. You need lots of brace.
Time to pucker.
Pucker up. All right, and here's the last and final question. Do you think you will like this movie?
No. I'm gonna be honest. Because there's a couple other things that you had mentioned and that I have since found out. One of them being that like they retconned some stuff, they changed some things from the first movie that I actually kind of liked. Like there were a couple of like in the backstory and that sort of thing that they decided to meddle in.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Don't do too much more research.
I won't. Yeah. But that alone, I always get worried when movies do that. When you have a sequel that feels the need to mess with the story from the first one, because and I hate it. I actually hate it when movies do that. Because like I get it, you want to you want to try and make sure that like that you want to try to shoehorn the situation into your story, like you want to get your story to fit, so you have to change things. But in my opinion, it's like no, if the previous story did well, then you just work with the challenges you have. Don't mess with the what was happening before. I just think that's bad storytelling. I think it's poor storytelling when you do that.
I agree. Yeah. And it's one of those situations, and this is not pertinent to this film necessarily, but it's one of those situations, too, where this is only the second film in the series. So if you do a retcon that fast, it almost feels like the studio saying, you know what, let's immediately scrap what we just established. Again, we're not going back to we're not going to get into that Star Wars well, but with Star Wars Episode 9, one thing that obviously brought lots of fans was it's like everything that Episode 8 did, it felt very much like Episode 9 was directly trying to say didn't happen or contradicted it by with the things they did. So it's one of those situations. So I get as far as like why retconning can really go askew very quickly.
Yeah, and in fact, I actually started watching and again, I won't go too far into it, as you said, Star Wars, but I just started watching on Disney Plus that Gallery, which is the documentary on Mandalorian. Have you seen that?
Yeah, the first 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like the first. I've seen the first episode and half of the second episode, and that is kind of the opposite. The Mandalorian, because even though each episode was directed by a different person. There were a couple of double ups, but for the most part, most of the episodes were done by different people. But they collaborated very closely throughout the entire filming of the series. So there was a cohesion, and it is like that's how you tell a story. Like, and I get it with movies, you don't always have that luxury. Like, you don't always have the luxury that the Marvel films have, where you can, kind of, plan out for years on end and overlap films and that sort of thing. But at the same time, if you're given a sequel, in my opinion, now granted, I've never been given a AAA sequel, so it's like, who the fuck am I to talk about it? But at the same time, like, I think if I was ever given that opportunity, I would say, okay, let me see what has been laid before and build upon that foundation, because, only bad builders go and try to fuck with the foundation, is all I'm saying.
That's the most apt. I mean, it literally is, that's the best analogy imaginable, because it is one of those situations where, regardless of that you had a master game plan, like the MCU a dozen years ahead of time or whatnot, you still are able to, the studio, with a franchise like Spider-Man, there's no reality in which they didn't plan or intend to have a direct sequel to Amazing Spider-Man #1. There's no reality in which they didn't.
Yeah.
So they should have, on some fundamental level, had the intention or had some kind of a game plan for what they wanted to do for the next film. Yeah. And that's usually how things go. You saw the first one, how the first one ended with him talking to Emma Stone or Gwen Stacy, what have you. They're clearly trying to set up the mechanics for a sequel already. They had it in mind from the start. Mm-hmm. So there shouldn't, if that's the case, you should have a few things in place as far as we're going to do this next time, we're going to do this. This is our B plot or C plot, what have you. Mm-hmm. You should be like, you know what? Now that this movie has come out, let's change these things. And if you're trying to respond to some fans, or if there was a backlash about a certain thing, I get it. But at the same time, if you already had a plan in place, is more often than not, it's better to go forward with that plan than to try to reverse things and switch things up, because people are like, wait a minute, what just happened?
Yeah.
But that's again, you and I have never made a AAA film or whatnot, so it's these we're from the outside looking in,
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think one of the things that that we need to remember about this movie in particular, about this series in particular, is this series had the unfortunate honor to straddle a tipping point within the superhero genre. And that is that I think the Amazing Spider-Man was being developed and filmed when the Marvel universe was really starting to get going, and was really starting, because it came out in 2012, right? So 4 years had gone by.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 2012.
Yeah.
4 years had gone by. Marvel was really starting to coalesce, but it hadn't really, like, I think 2012 was like the beginning of phase 2. So we were just starting to get.
Because 2012 was when the Avengers came out.
Yeah.
And so the Avengers was also when Disney bought. After the Avengers was when Disney bought up Marvel proper.
Yeah.
And so that was when it went. The MCU movies went from being good things, entertaining, to being like kind of like worldwide $2 billion massive hits.
Exactly.
So it was right at that tipping point.
Yeah. And like, I don't think Feige hadn't really like that was happening in the background. We as an audience didn't know about it yet, but there was a beginning of a cohesion to the movies when Amazing Spider-Man came out, and then Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out in the middle of all of that, and so it has this unfortunate thing where, now we're looking back on it on the other side, and the other side is. Right. Is the fact that the Marvel universe has happened and a full story arc has beginning, middle, and end have been released to the public. Yes. So we saw how they did that. So and I'll admit, like, and I fully recognize that we're doing this right now. It's a little unfair for us to say to them, like, they why didn't they do that? But at the same time, because they were, if you look at it, they were handling it the way movies handled sequels in the past, where like if you look at any action movie, they always make sure they set up things so that way there can be a sequel in case the movie makes it big, and then it's like they get the money for the sequel. But then it's a whole new probably going to be a whole new director, probably going to be a whole new set of people around it just because of the situation. And I think that's what Sony was doing at the time, was they were just treating it like any other superhero or any other franchise, frankly. And then and meanwhile Marvel's over here going, okay, yeah, just don't mind us. We're changing how cinema works for the next how many ever years.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, it's very true. Like the way that Sony was doing things with Spider-Man was very standard as far as like each film in and of itself is meant to be self-contained more or less. There may be a tipping, they may be tipping their hand as far as one or two things that might possibly happen. But even like we just said, with the movie Spider-Man #1, the only thing that really showed that we could linger or carry over to the next one was just him and Gwen Stacy. That was it. No new villain stuff, nothing else for Spider-Man's own personal life, just the idea of just him and Gwen Stacy. Yeah. However, the MCU was pretty much being run like a TV show or a TV series where it had this in this episode, this happens, this is a storyline, and this storyline will continue to go on and on and on and on. So, I mean, from the time they introduced Thanos at the end of the Avengers, it's like, okay, this is a TV show. Because now you're coming back, each time you come back to the MCU, the TV show of the MCU, this episode featuring Ant-Man will still tie in to the episode of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which ties into the episode of, Winter Soldier. So it's the two different styles of filmmaking. And because Spider-Man is still associated with Marvel because of the comics for so many years, like you said, the fans would so even on a subconscious level, we're looking at Spider-Man like an outlier. Like, why are you over here doing this type of stuff when you should be over here doing what they're doing? It doesn't make sense.
So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like it, and it makes me sad.
Right, that's the answer to that question.
Yes.
Now here's one thing. I'll let everyone know this now. Rule number 1 for our watch-alongs: Nate and I will be drinking libations. Good libations, 80 proof libations. Because because for this movie, whoa!
I'm ready. In fact, I think I'm gonna have to get some more
refills. Yeah, get refills.
Yeah.
Number 2. I'm kind of like an European with the thumb first, but whatever. Number 2.
3 beers. Anyway.
3 beers. Because we're not in the movie theater, we're watching it as friends together. I'm sure we're going to comment here and there. We're going to have some fun. We're going to be able to laugh at things that, of course, we're not supposed to, but because we can't help it, we're going to. So, and because your expectations are already so bananas, on some level, I think you'll be entertained enough to say, you know what, that was fun. Was it good? I don't know, but it sure as hell wasn't boring. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's it'll be one of those things where did I like it? I don't know if I liked it, but was it fun? Sure.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm guessing you'll fall somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's probably where I'll land. But yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I waited since I saw your face after we said Paul Giamatti. I've been anxious to see this.
And for those of you who want to see that, I actually highlighted it on our Twitch channel. There's actually a highlight clip on our Twitch channel that I think highlights should stick around. I know regular episodes go away after a couple of weeks, but highlights I think stay around forever. And so there's a highlight of me finding out that John Adams is the Rhino.
Yeah, John Adams.
Yes. Okay, so actually we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to be playing some Batman Arkham Asylum because we have some other stuff we want to talk about some big news that dropped today, but we'll save that for after the break. So we will see you guys.
But if you,
good.
If you don't join us after the break, thank you so much for this part of the show.
Yes.
Because obviously the podcasters listening when it may not hear this.
Oh, that's right.
Game,
yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. This is my first night doing this.
But thanks again, and we'll see you next week. We'll see you either for this watch along, or we'll see you once Nate has seen it. Once Nate has witnessed.
Yes.
I'm into.
Once I've witnessed. So thank you all, and so y'all take care. We'll be back.
Johnny Sins.
Hi, and we're back.
Yay.
Watch me while I drink my beer.
And listen as that goatee strokes the booze.
Anyway. So, we are going to play Arkham Asylum today. We're actually going to start a new file, and we're going to play this from jump. We're playing this straight up on... I always do subtitles because I'm old and can't always hear everything.
That's probably better in case someone can't quite hear us. Or actually, more likely, they would turn our audio off so they can just watch the game.
I like how it says until only it's just visible, and I'm like, I don't see it yet. Okay. Actually, I can.
The brightness level is at cataracts.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shit. Okay. Now, Ethan, would you like to tell the wonderful folks why we are playing this game the way we are?
Absolutely. So, what's going on right now is DC fandom, or whatever, where the DC universe and Warner Brothers is doing this whole big ass presentation for all their stuff they have coming down the pipe through their IPs of Warner Brothers or DC shows and movies and games and whatnot. And one of the games that they announced today was a game called Gotham Knights, which is a spiritual successor to the Arkham series, wherein you get to play pretty much everyone from the Bat family in this kind of a co-op type of game. But it was just announced today. We just the first footage, the gameplay footage today. And so we thought, well, for noobs, why not go ahead and revisit the original, the game from 2008, the summer that Batman triumphed, more or less.
Yeah. And I liked how the sounds in the game were getting louder as you were getting right to the good bit. This game is, God, I love this game so much. It was. Let's do the cinematic and then we can revisit.
Sure, of course. Wait, do you see that arrow on the screen?
Oh yeah, sorry, that was me. Oh wait, no. Well, actually, the stream didn't see it, but you did. Anyway.
Oh. as we kill the cinematic. Sorry.
That's fine. So dramatic.
Beautifully dramatic.
Yes.
Another thing too was at this point, Arkham Asylum had never been seen in any form of media except for. Briefly in Batman Begins, but it was never seen in another film. It's definitely not in a video game. So this was a kind of having our introduction to it.
Yeah. Well, but we did have it in Batman the Animated Series.
Yes, but not a video game.
Yeah, not in a video game.
You did see it in the show, the cartoon show, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those high HD graphics, son. HD.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's like, what's happening? This is pretty amazing. Yes. Okay.
The voice acting. Now, Nick, you're a professional, literally a professional voice actor. There's not a bad voice actor in the game.
Oh yeah, no, this is amazing.
Did Romano do this? No, she didn't. Did she?
I don't know. Maybe she did.
It's possible. I know she ever did video games.
She only just retired this past year. So.
Yeah, literally just retired. For those who don't know, we're talking about Andrea Romano, the voice actor for the past 25, 30 years? No.
Voice director.
25 years? I'm sorry. Yeah. Voice director for the past year.
Oh, yeah, long time, yeah.
So many things animated. Just about everything animated.
Pretty much, she pretty much anything that anything from your childhood, Andrea Romano may have had a hand in it.
Odds are. I mean, anything Warner Brothers, yes. But also, didn't she do some of the Disney Afternoon stuff too? I thought.
I think so. Yeah.
Like Rescue Rangers and
Yeah. I got to meet her once. She's a very wonderful person. Yeah.
Oh, at that voice acting convention in Atlanta.
Yeah, she was VO Atlanta.
VO Atlanta.
She was a very wonderful person.
I saw her. I didn't meet her, but I saw her in 2008 at the C2E2 Chicago convention, because Bruce Timm was debuting the Gotham Knights anime. There. And Andrea and Greg Rucka, some of the other writers, were on the stage, and she was there.
Oh, nice.
There. But she didn't talk or anything. She was just on the stage.
She is a very tiny woman. Very tiny.
Very slim. Very slim.
Yeah. Like, she... like, I'm probably mischaracterizing, but, like, I would say she's probably, like, 5 foot. Like, 5 foot, very small, just... But very lovely. She's awesome.
Yeah, very nice. She walks softly but carries a really, really big stick. I mean,
wouldn't mess with her. Wouldn't mess with her at all.
Yeah.
And apparently, she made it clear in her speech, one of her speeches. Apparently, people really like Kevin Conroy's voice, and by people I mean anybody who enjoys male voices. Really likes Kevin Conroy's voice.
Like even more than ASMR.
Oh yeah. In fact, she was telling a story about apparently like she was voice directing something that he had to do, and he had to be like seductive in it or something, and she was like,
oh no.
She's like, I made him do like 1 million takes. It's like.
That was just for her own personal. By the way, there was no mic there. It was just her.
Oh yeah, no.
She was there by herself.
Exactly. It was the rehearsal. No, I had
yeah, right, quote unquote rehearsal.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the episode of Matlock that he was on? It was just Kevin Conroy because he was an actor.
Oh yeah,
course,
yeah.
Besides voice acting, yeah, I saw the episode that he was on there, and I think he was the killer too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Kevin Conroy's amazing.
I remember this scene when it was just they had Killer Croc coming up and just being like. Holy shit.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to nerd out pretty hard here, but we'll let you guys see this. But real quick, one thing. The reason Nate and I love this part so much that voice acting, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But
that was one thing I've heard a lot of Mark Hamill saying one of the reasons he really enjoyed doing this version of the Joker is because there was like hardly any censorship. Like, because in Batman the Animated Series, they
extreme censorship, but borderline Hays Code to the full extent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where here, anyway, so I'm sorry. You go the part about
no, you're right because he did he improv too. Mark Hamill was allowed to improv some of these things too. You can tell. But the thing was that you and I are fans of storytelling in games and storytelling in general, and that's the promise of the premise is a big thing in this game clearly. But right there, seeing Killer Croc, and for a fact that eventually you have to fight him. So seeing something that formidable and that with that much prowess is like, oh man, I can't wait to fight that. I can't wait to see how Batman beats that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
I will say, I will admit, the character model for the Joker isn't my favorite. I'll admit that.
It's that really, really skinny one. It's the same one that's used like in Jim Lee's Hush. Because this is Jim Lee. This is kind of... This is adapted artwork from Jim Lee. So it leans more towards that. But he's so skinny. He looks almost anorexic. Yeah.
And the way the smile... Yeah, like the way they have the smile coming up like that, I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah. No. Do you think that was because this came out the same year as Dark Knight, the Dark Knight film?
Yeah.
And that's how he looks. Is it because of that they're trying to match Heath Ledger's Joker?
No, because I actually didn't mind Heath Ledger's Joker the way they did that. For some reason on here, I think it's because they tried to make it a little too realistic in terms of, like, because in a lot of the other character models, they make the red of the lips his actual lips. Where here they didn't, and for some reason I just didn't like that. I just didn't care for that.
No, that's fair.
But it's like the only thing about the game I don't like.
No, that's fine. I mean, there's obviously the game's not perfect, but it's pretty close. But there's things you're allowed to dislike stuff. One thing I do like about the idea of how the Joker looks so anemic in a way is because it just reinforces the idea that he's the antithesis of Batman. Batman is a big, burly, strong dude. Joker's kind of frail and skinny.
Yeah,
Batman has said 2 words the entire time. Joker hasn't shut up the entire time. It's like it's really enforcing the idea that they're opposites.
Yeah.
And Gordon is wearing tinted glasses. He's like, I'm cool. I'm cool now. I'm a young guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a plot hole, but how did Harley get there?
I don't know. Well, I think, they established that. We'll get to it. We'll put a note. Note. How did she get there?
Pin. Put a pin.
And then we do the. Now we have to do the tutorial.
Yeah.
So as you said at the top of this, we're doing this because of Gotham Knights that was just recently announced. Recently, by recently I mean this morning.
Really recently.
So my thing I wanted to bring up. I'm very excited for it, but I want to know your thoughts on it. Can you give me your thoughts on what you think? Like, if you think it's going to be, what do you think? Your thoughts?
So I'll put it in terms that all of us hardcore nerds can understand. After I saw Avengers Endgame, I said, I'm sated. I don't need to see another big MCU movie. I will still, of course, go to MCU movies and I'll, of course, support them. But I know that I've pretty much seen the pinnacle of nerddom in my life via the MCU. And I don't expect anything that follows it to meet that level ever again. The Arkham games are the same thing. These are the definitive Batman video games and some of the best Batman stories. Is just the best there is. I do not expect anything that comes after it to match it or surpass it. And when I saw Gotham Knights, I was like, yeah, this is definitely not on par with... I know it's a pre-alpha phase, but I was like, yeah, this will not top Arkham. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it not being better.
Yeah. I can understand that. I'm kind of on the same page as you. I think I don't think it's going to be as good, but what I found very interesting was so for those of you who haven't seen it, that they started off with Bruce Wayne basically, it's a video that they hint that Bruce Wayne has died, and then the game is essentially you will be playing the other characters, Robin, Batgirl, Red Hood, and
so I know it's Red. So Red Robin, Night. I think it's. You said Red Hood's in this game too.
Yeah, Red Hood. It's Red Hood.
Okay.
Red Hood. Robin, Batgirl, and Nightwing.
Nightwing's okay.
Yeah. Now, but the thing is, do you remember the end of the trailer?
I did not see the end. I saw the first 5 minutes of gameplay, and I stopped. I was like, okay, I've seen it. I didn't see the very end.
You missed it.
I missed the end. What happens at the very end?
The Court of Owls.
Oh, okay. They're getting more recent with the content.
Yeah. So Batman's in this game. Batman is totally in this game.
Probably.
And I think they're holding. I think they're. This is a big fake out.
Of course, Batman's still alive. It's in the game. But go ahead, because the Court of Owls is a more recent-ish addition to the lore. Go ahead and tell people why the Court of Owls, how the significance of the Court of Owls. Some of it, because they're pretty big. But
the whole concept. The whole concept of the Court of Owls, we'll go ahead and pause this for a second so that way I can focus, because I'm not good at focusing on two things at once. That makes, it's like, really? You're going into streaming and you can't focus on two things at once? Okay. Anyway. The Court of Owls is a story that recently came out on it. Essentially it was with the New 52 when DC essentially rebooted their entire thing. This was ago or something.
The Court of Owls is about 7 years old, but yeah.
Okay. But they rebooted everything. And one of the things they did with the Court of Owls is they told the story that there was a secret society that essentially was the underpinnings of Gotham City. And
literally.
And there was like this old nursery rhyme about the Court of Owls, and essentially the nursery rhyme culminates that if you try to whatever, then the Talon will come to kill you, but in a much more lyrical and creepy verse. And through the story you discover that, and I won't go into too deep, but through the story you discover that Batman's grandfather or great grandfather, so an ancestor of Bruce Wayne, was essentially killed by the Court of Owls. And so essentially part of the story is Batman learning about this, Batman thinking that the Court of Owls is a real thing, and it's a whole, like, there is no way they can do the Court of Owls story without Batman involved in some way, because it just
he's directly tied to it. Personal thing for Batman that it didn't have him involved with it. It's like, what's the point of having that personal of an element without having him involved with it? Because it's a very, very. Because the Court of Owls is also they're basically kind of like a clandestine Illuminati of sorts within Gotham. And they've beaten Batman before. They were able to, with all of Batman's advancements and through the League of Assassins and everything else, and all the things, and Master Ninja that he is, they still eluded him for decades somehow. So that's how good they are. And then in a straight up fight, multiple ones of them beat him in a fight. So it's like they would destroy the Bat family without him too much. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what I think, this is my speculation. My speculation is that the game will either start with the Court of Owls, because there's a portion of the Court of Owls story where Batman is missing. Now in the story, like in the actual comic, you follow Batman. Like you follow Batman through that story. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have it where they're telling the story from the point of view of everybody else, because like he's gone for like a couple of days, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they do it from the point of view, like maybe they start it with Batman, or maybe they start it with like, oh, he's dead, and then he pops up 3 days later or whatever. Like it could just be that he's cameoing and you can't play as him, but he's going to be in the story more than just being, I'm dead,
Just a tombstone. Yeah. I'll let the Mac play.
That's a room name, Pacification.
Pacification. I guess
that's
that
not
makes sense.
ominous.
Place to pacify.
Yeah, that's where they pacify. Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, Yeah, still. Not Frankie. Yeah, not me, but Batman. Because the way it looks, though, is Gotham Knights. Because I don't believe it's made by Rocksteady, right? Rocksteady didn't make this game?
No, it's made by the same group that made Origins.
Okay, yes, okay. So they were still kind of involved. Like I said, it's a spiritual successor to this franchise. The idea is, too, is like the way that Arkham Knights ends, it ends alluding to the idea that Batman is no more in some sense. Mm-hmm. And if this is I don't think this game is a direct follow-up to that storyline.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like you said, Court of Owls. It's more or less like that Batman was still doing his thing and got killed off, what have you, by the Court of Owls, as opposed to Batman more or less retired to let Azrael take over at the end of Arkham Knight or what have you.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. It makes sense. And I will admit something to you now, Nate. I had never heard of Zaz before this game.
Really?
I hadn't heard of
him.
Really? Or if I had, it kind of brought me. Couldn't remember him. Yeah.
He was featured in a storyline that I really enjoyed. I think it was the comic book Gotham Knights. He was in a story that I really enjoyed. I think it's on me. I think he's been featured. I think he was also in Long Halloween, I think, too. Wasn't he? Yeah, I think he might have been.
I think he was.
He might have been at the very least mentioned.
Mentioned or something.
Yeah.
He's like a C-lister.
They've got Mike. We got to get Mike. The one downside to HDing a thing is the
guards look very like
oh god,
you're not special. You're not special. Yeah.
The textures. There we go. Ooh, I can see your pelvis. Anyway. Okay.
Cover up.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh yes, we're still in tutorial mode. I remember when it grappled up the first time, and I was just like, oh,
so cool. I was like, wow, I feel like that.
Though I did find myself there were certain portions of time where I found myself like I would realize I've been in detective mode for like the last 25 minutes solid. It's like
it's
I would
just a crutch.
Yeah, it was. It was just a goddamn
crutch. And they kind of tried to refine it a little bit in the sequels, but it's like, nah, it's still too important.
Yeah.
Also, the best part was, since this game, like so many other games have like versions of detective mode, like even like Last of Us, where they have like the hearing mode, the same very similar idea, or Spider Sense mode.
Now, I'm trying to remember what's her name.
Harley Quinn.
I know the character name. I'm talking the.
The voice actress.
Yeah. What's her name? She looks like Harley.
You mean the one in this game, or the one that's because I think it's the same actress that was in the show, the animated series.
Yeah. What was it? I think it was a different. No, I need to look it up now.
Is there someone, you said someone that looks like her that you saw or something?
Oh, the one who does it for the thing. So
the current TV show that animated series. Yeah, Kaylee Kuko.
Oh no, not her. Harley Quinn. It's.
You mean Margot Robbie?
Nope. I'll get there. Played by Arlene Sorkin did it in Batman the Animated Series. That's not the one I'm talking about. I am talking about Tara Strong.
Tara Strong,
yeah.
But did she
looks like Harley.
For this?
I'm pretty sure she did it for this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
She did for this. Oh, okay. Well, they based Harley off of her originally, though, off of Arlene.
Arlene Sorkin.
What's her name? Yeah, they based off of her originally.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah, that in fact, we were talking the other day when we were doing our test about Paul Dini.
Yeah.
And I think Arlene Sorkin actually helped him coalesce. Like she helped him. Like in fact, I think she might have been the person after the mugging. She was where he went after he was mugged.
Oh, okay.
Because they were good friends, and
Right.
yeah. So
that's something. No, that makes sense. What's also interesting about Paul Dini is, I'm sure you already know this too, how Paul Dini, his wife, in real life, like for a long time, his favorite, or the character he thought was the most beautiful was Zatanna, the magician sorceress, and he ended up marrying someone that looks like Zatanna. Yeah, looks like Zatanna.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. You see that kind of stuff, and you're like, ah.
well done.
Yes.
Yeah.
I found a way out.
Speaking of all the Harleys.
Yes.
Have you seen any of the Harley Quinn show on DC All Access or HBO Max, the new rated R one?
I haven't seen the actual show, but I've seen like trailers for it, and holy shit! Like when I saw the first. Like when I saw the first trailer for it, I was like I'm thinking like, oh, another nice. Oh, this is gonna be. She just dropped. She sweared. Like
yes, it's a hard R because it's the swearing and the deaths, the gruesome deaths.
Yeah,
it's very
Oh man, like I just. Whew.
It's hilarious, but also it's like, wow, they are not effing around.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so I'm supposed to be chasing someone at this point? I don't know. I'm not paying a fucking attention.
That's right.
Oh, this is where we watch people die of laughing gas. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, like you said, this is how they couldn't put an animated series. They couldn't put Joker killing folks to death from laughter. That's a horrible way to die. Could you imagine that?
Oh, yeah.
Dying from laughing? I mean, that's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's God. Well, so it's funny. So I got to tell on Steven here for a second.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
So he's working on another podcast that he's paused his lunch break podcast because he kind of got bored of doing that, which totally fine. But he's doing a new thing with a friend of his, and they were doing some tests and stuff. Of things to try, and one of them was to come up with it was him and his friend. It was a comedic podcast, and they had like prompts, and they would try to do things. Well, one of the prompts is, if you were a serial killer, what kind of serial killer would you be? And it was painfully obvious that neither of them were nerds, because the person that he was with, their serial killer was to make someone laugh until they died. Was their serial killer, and then I can't remember Stevens. Stevens was his was to make somebody eat until they died, and my response to them to get, because he wanted me to give them feedback. I gave him feedback, and I was like, just wanted to let. Yeah, like I was like the Joker, So your friend,
and then also, the movie Seven, because
that's exactly what I said. I said, yeah, your serial killer is the first death in Seven.
It's the first one. Yeah, it's the first one.
And I said, there was something else I said. I said, it's like, I get that neither of you are nerds, but it makes me sad, the fact that you guys both talked about serial killer and serial killer movies a lot, and you completely missed those two things. So
how is that possible? How is that possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had to tell on him.
And you would think on some level that John Doe, because Seven was such a huge, that came out in what, 1995, 96?
But it was 97, I think. 95 or 97, one of those two.
Yeah, somewhere in the 90s. But it was so ubiquitous. Everyone knows the whole idea of it's Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman and David Fincher. And it's all about the 7 deadly sins. Like, you would think that he would have that was already done by another serial killer.
Oh, it was 95. 95 it came out. Sorry.
95.
Yeah. Sorry, I was.
But that is no. It's perfectly fine. I'm just thoroughly glad that you have a dear friend that fantasizes about how he would serial kill people.
Yeah, it was, and mind you, it was a serial killer podcast. Or not a serial killer, a comedy podcast about serial killers.
That makes it worse.
Yeah, so I'm not telling them that much. I guess. If you
and
have
this guy babysits your kids when you're not around.
No. Look, I love you, Steven, but no, because I know you would have them fight, and you would have people come over, and you would bet on winners.
Take bets. You would cockfight his kids.
Oh God, wow. Okay, I need to. Detective mode. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, so I need to. Yeah, I also love
how he's still saying what you just did.
Yeah. A well-aimed batarang. That already did it, you dumbass. Anyway. Wait, I just called Batman a dumbass. I'm dead.
He'll come after you. He will come after you next. And you realize Batman's like literally a step away from being a serial killer himself. It's like,
oh
yeah, he's right there. He's right on the cusp.
I actually really like stories that that explore that. Like I really like stories that kind of acknowledge the fact that it's like dude's twisted. Like, yes. he thinks that it is normal to, dress up as a bat and flap around the city,
Right. And beat up people and.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Yeah, like that's the other thing too. Like, people think that like Batman has this no-kill rule, which he does. He has this no-kill rule, but
technically he does.
Technically, but like seriously, if like these guys that he's currently beating up and like breaking them, like some of their injuries are life-altering. Like
they're done. They are done.
Yeah.
Like that right there. He bare minimum he has a concussion. That will swell in his brain. Bare minimum.
And he ain't getting medical treatment anytime soon.
No. He has no health insurance. I promise you, he has no insurance.
Yes, and the state of healthcare in this country, sweet Jesus.
Tell me about it. Preach. Do you own a pair of spats, Nate?
I do not. I was actually going to comment on the spats. Spats make no flippin' sense to me.
They don't, but they're so cool. They're so cool. Scrooge McDuck.
True. Very true. This was a storyline that was like obviously it ends up being like a full thread through the storyline is the whole Titan thing, but I like how he's just like looking around like
he literally was looking, didn't even care, didn't even look at it.
Yeah, just like, oh, strange mutant person.
So just another Tuesday.
I also like how they had him like they have these people-sized vaults. Like, what the hell is going on at Arkham Asylum? Like there is.
Yeah. Oh yes. This place is worse by far. You've seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where it's like abusive Nurse Ratched. This place is like 10 times worse than that.
Oh God. Yeah, like they have a pacification area.
Literally called a pacification area, yeah. Nice. Very nice. I remember playing this game with my nephew. So my nephew is 12 years old now, but he has been around with me playing all these games pretty much since they came out and stuff. And it was fun because when this game came out, this was one of the parts that scared him. So he would like kind of hide behind me while I played this part. And then when he was terrified of Bane too, so big guys just scare him.
This always drove me nuts. Just
I know, me too.
Fucking do it.
But he
do it.
But it would kill him. You can't.
Yeah.
It would kill him dead. There's no way around it.
Well, but see, then you get into the philosophical argument of, you know, while he would do the overt act, which would kill the Joker, which would make him responsible, but because he didn't do the overt act, he is indirectly responsible for every death that happens for the rest of this game. You know,
I agree. The thing about it, which is so difficult to analyze, is just the idea that does Batman have the right to decide who lives and dies?
Yeah.
Right or wrong, as far as like, does he even have the right to decide who should live?
Yeah.
So I completely agree. If he would just everyone says if you would just off the Joker, no one would miss him.
Yeah.
But it's like he can't if he crosses that line once. And Gordon has said, if you cross that line once, I will hunt you down myself and kill you, pretty much. Or I'll arrest you. Yes, like so. It's.
It just like I get it, but it's just
You get it cerebrally, but still it doesn't. Yeah, I get you. I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the thing I wanted to upgrade, but anyway. Screw it.
You're good enough. You're good enough.
I'm fine. Door locked. Batman, I'm over here.
The game's like, hey, newbie.
Yeah.
Hey, new guy. Play the game. Come this way.
I'm coming.
How much would you pay for a utility belt like Batman's in this game? In U.S. currency.
Probably not a lot, because
really,
I have
I mean, it would have some of the gadgets, and I mean, not all of the gadgets, but some of the gadgets in there.
Well, some of the gadgets. The problem is I while it would be cool to have that shit.
Preach.
What the fuck am I gonna do with a Batarang? You know, it's just like you know, it's
Scare
like
every neighbor.
Yeah, because that's, you know, number one, it ain't gonna fucking fit me. I'll tell you that right now.
What?
Okay.
Make sure it fits. They would have it custom made for you. What's the point of having one that you had to strap on your shoulder? That's insane. Yeah, it'd be a custom fitting.
Custom fit. But the thing is that just the vision of putting that belt around me and then having me stand there, it's like, seriously, this is the comic book guy come to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh. Now we have to, that's our next. That is my bucket list. That's my entire bucket list, is getting you a utility belt and putting it on you and having you grow in a ponytail like the comic book guy.
Oh my god, it was hilarious. Do you remember? Well, yeah, I'm sure you remember. You remember Bo, the comic book guy?
Yeah.
Atlas. Yeah. He passed, sadly. But he No, and you remember Bo. Bo was a big dude. And
he had the long hair.
Yeah, and he had the long hair. Well, and he really enjoyed going to what's that one band? This is really going to narrow it down. What's that one band that's really into pot?
Grateful Dead is maybe not.
Well, Grateful Dead. It's kind of in the same vein. The one
Fish.
Fish. It was Fish.
Yeah, Fish. Yeah.
He was really into fish. In fact, every year he would go on the fish cruise, so that way
his car had the bears and stuff.
And he was telling me. I remember he was telling me. Bo was great because he'd be sitting there telling me the most inappropriate, not just these stories that are just like, dude, really? And a kid would walk by and he would just stop. And I'd be like, so have you read a new Batman? And then the kid would just kind of walk away, wait another thing, and he'd be like, yeah. So then I'm sitting there naked, and I've got my hand around my and you're just like, whoa, dude, yes. I really don't need to know this about you. But
so the thing is, sometimes he wouldn't stop in time during his anecdotes. He would think he would, but the kid's still right there. It's
yeah,
I mean, he would tell. He always had so many crazy ass stories, and there were. I know for a fact, just from me being in there, because he wasn't even always talking to me. He was talking to somebody else sometimes. But I would hear them offhand, and I'd be sitting there right next to a kid myself. So if I can hear this, I know this kid can hear it too.
Oh yeah,
and it's he is saying some crazy shit.
Oh yeah, nuts. But I happened to stop by I don't know if it was on Halloween or if it was right around Halloween. Like, it must have been just right before, or maybe it was on Halloween. And he was there, and he was dressed up as the comic book guy, like full on, like he had the ponytail. He was balding, so he kind of had that thing going on anyway. Yeah. He went and found the shirt and the shorts and everything, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to a couple of Halloween parties later tonight, but I figured it'd be funny if I came in to work today like this." And I was like, and this was like before camera phones, so I didn't get a picture of it, and I'm so mad. Like, to this day, that's a regret of mine that I wasn't able to get a picture of it. But man,
well, that's painfully meta, because he already was.
Oh yeah,
that guy on some level. I mean, he was a lot more sociable than Kevin, because I think the guy's name is Kevin in the show, right? In The Simpsons, comic guy's name is actually Kevin.
I think so. I don't know. I can't. I neither can confirm nor deny the name of the comic book guy, because I don't know.
Right. I mean, it's not everyone just calls him the comic book guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But Bo pretty much was a lot more sociable and friendly than the comic book guy. But he pretty much oozed, quote unquote, the comic book guy vibe all the time already.
Yeah.
So to see him dressed up like him, owning a comic book shop, was just like, I'm having brain contortion.
Now, I know I'm going to go down this hallway, and I'm not going to the, I was going to be like, it's going to be locked this way.
Maybe not. I mean, this part is a labyrinth anyways.
Yeah, that's... I always loved
he's
what...
He's dead.
Yeah, I always loved when they... Look at this guy! Look at this glitch! Look at this.
There's no kill policy. You just knocked a man through a wall. Two walls.
That glitch is amazing. Oh god. Look at that.
The best part, even when it's not a glitch, when he elbows some guy for the finishing move, and you see them grab their face as they crumble on the ground. It's like that is unforgivable. They're in so much pain, Batman.
Yeah.
You just damaged them.
Well, I was just actually about to comment about another glitch that I've seen in this game and the other Batman games that would sometimes happen is when you would do like the final hit and you would do the hit and they would be going down and they would be grabbing their face and their like arm would be like glitching back and forth, like twitching. And you're just like, what? Dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you like break, you know?
You hit him so hard that he broke gravity and
exactly. Physics doesn't work anymore.
you broke his physics.
Yeah. Oh, this is the detective mode.
Oh, the first.
This like detective mode that actually was like straight up detective mode. Okay,
right. Yeah. The CSI.
Whiskey, 99.88% whiskey.
Is that what you just said? God damn, that ain't 98 proof. You can't stand after that. What I really like about this game too is how it had how Oracle, because Oracle really wasn't in much media at all. She wasn't in a cartoon show. She's never been in a movie. Wasn't in any TV shows before this. I mean, So I was like, oh yes, Oracle. I love Oracle. So.
Oh yeah. I really liked how they used that. I think they did in later. Might have been in the Superman Batman animated series. They might have had Oracle, but I'm not sure because I was.
I think so. There was an episode of Superman Batman, I think, where they went to the future, right? It like showed like a future one where it had like a Dark Knight Returns clip or something.
Yeah.
And I think Oracle was talking to Batman. He was in his like bat tank, and she was talking to him there. I think you're right. But it was I think that was it was like literally for a blip on the radar. I think you're right about that.
Yeah. And that's now I love how Batman, you didn't need detective mode for this. You just follow the whiskey sweats. You just follow that smell. Like seriously.
Any child that has a horrible dad can tell you. You can smell they are.
Oh God. Yeah, that's so true. Okay. Oh, there
Where's
there
Daddy?
It is. Yeah. Oh God. Just follow the whiskey sweats. This is where we.
Whiskey sweats. This is horrible. Whiskey sweats.
Yes.
I love it. Oh God, I love it.
This is okay, now here we're stupid, unreliable. Yeah, that's dialogue. Oh, these. Well, again, I appreciate the HD thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Of course.
Like they even got the boob jiggle as she hit the thing like that. You know, they
did.
They did, but at the same time, the character models.
Because it's still models from 12 years ago, so it's not. Yeah. They weren't. This is also it was a generation. It was a PS3 console. It wasn't even a PS4 console.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's actually amazing to me how much of this I remember. And I think a big reason why I remember it is just because of how, like, awe-inspiring it was at the time.
Of course. Yeah. Like, this, you have to appreciate this game, even though I know you and I talked before how some of the sequels maybe you think are better games or whatnot. This game revolutionized gaming in so many ways. Not just Batman, but gaming in so many ways.
Well, yeah. Well, like you said, that detective mode. Detective mode's in everything now. Like you've got
now.
Yeah. Like you've got like hell, even and I always hate it. I hate it when they throw in detective mode when it doesn't make sense. Like, you know, when you're actually playing like a normal person, a normal human being, doesn't make sense. But like Horizon Zero Dawn, it has detective mode. Its version of detective mode. Damn. Yeah, but it has a good reason for it because they make it where she finds this. Like she finds like a bit of technology that helps her. It's essentially like an AR type, like an augmented reality device that she discovers. And it just, you know, it makes sense. I did also like how this game made it where it had this kind of stuff, like where you had to like get through things, but it made the platforming kind of easy. Like it wasn't.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Like you didn't have to time your
it's
jumps.
Not Mario Brothers. No.
Yeah.
It's not
exactly.
Mario. It was even more. The biggest thing. So detective mode was obviously revolutionary, but the biggest thing I think was the free flow combat. The way you actually could be in a room, because they talked about that before. I saw the making of the game and everything. How they were trying to figure out a way so that you could be. To make you feel like Batman, if you're surrounded by a whole squad of, you know, thugs or what have you, how you could take down an entire room of them by yourself, being surrounded, and the free flow combat was so important to doing that, as far as being able to just hit one button and kind of jumping around real quickly, and that's been used in several games too. Like Spider-Man has it, obviously Assassin's Creed remodified their game to be more attuned with it and stuff. So, yeah.
I did want to point out that in that character animation there, when Batman was kicking out the grate, he was kicking it with his left foot, and his shoe was a right foot shoe.
HD! What I like about this too was like, Karma's like, hello, I'm Nate. I'm going to point out a mistake. While I do that, Karma's gonna kill me off so that the loop is complete.
As I point out a mistake, I walk off a ledge. That's essentially what happens.
You wildly killed yourself. Super genius as you kill yourself.
It's like, oh, you're going to fucking criticize this game that revolutionized gaming? Fall off the fucking cliff, okay?
Instant karma. But you're right that was a right. The shoe was a right-footed boot.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I was like, that doesn't. That would hurt. Batman would have his feet would be his footsies would be in pain. There we go.
So what's it called though? So you're pigeon-toed when your feet go in, right? What's it called when they go out? Is like duck
penguin toad? I don't know.
Is it penguin toad? Oh.
I don't know.
Some other animal, other bird.
We probably just like ridiculously offended a subset of people, like, you know,
not just. I'm sure we've done it all stream. We've insulted so many people.
Oh yes. Oh, Chronicle of Arkham.
Yeah, So you said you platinumed this game almost, right? Almost platinumed it before?
This one I almost platinumed.
Yeah, I couldn't find some of the Amadeus Arkham. I missed like 2 or 3 of those. I couldn't platinum because of that.
Yeah. I did platinum City. No, Night. I did platinum Night. I tried to platinum City, but I didn't quite get
Joker,
there.
Yeah, the Joker things get really crazy in City. And the VR, it has the VR ones too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, have you? I don't know if you've had the opportunity to play the VR Batman.
No, not the real one. No, is it decent?
It's it's good for what it is. Like it's not a full-fledged game. And
world
kind of like it's not. It definitely. Well, actually, yes, it is. Yeah, because it was made by Rocksteady. Rocksteady actually made it. Forgive me. But it's just really cool to just be like, I'm fucking Batman.
To actually feel like in your space. Yeah.
And thank you for that clarification. I didn't mean that I was like actually fucking Batman. I just mean that I was.
No,
I was
my friend.
Batman.
It is 2020. If whatever you do in your spare time with capes and
no kink shame, no
cows,
shame.
no cape shame, no cape shame.
No cape shame. Very nice. Okay, I really hope there's a grade at the end of this because let's see. Oh man, that dude just got piled.
It's a cutscene. Yeah, I remember this.
Okay.
Played this game way too many times.
Oh, see, his foot.
Yeah, it's his foot. Yeah, his foot. But I think that is his right foot. That's his right. foot.
No. Look. No, it's his left foot. It was his left foot.
I couldn't tell. You might be right. I'm not. Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna have to do zoom and enhance, ladies and gentlemen. Zoom and enhance. Enhance. Yeah, and I also I do remember just being in shock at how I'd be walking around this game and I would come up on a like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me make sure I don't. But like I'd walk around and I'd come up on a cop's body and I'd be like, that dude's dead.
Yeah.
And just being straight up shocked that I'm like, wow, this game just doesn't care. Like it's just like, yeah, you're gonna deal with death here. Like there's people are gonna die.
Well, because the thing in the comic books, that's very ordinary. In the animated series,
Jesus,
he died he tripped. I don't think he got shot. I think he just tripped and fell into the wall.
Yeah, he just like kind of went like just right into
smashed.
Oh my god. Okay, let's see how far back it sends us, because this actually might
be right.
Yeah,
right
there.
Yeah,
right
here.
Spot, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Unfortunately, oh Jesus! I've got a kid. My God.
I like how they put that part in there.
Yeah.
Wait. So you're wait. You could be right. That could be That's definitely a right foot.
Yeah, it's definitely right foot, but it's if you look, he's got his arm. You see his arm leaning on it, and it's from that angle. So unless he's like really freaking contorted, like unless he is just twisted
inside a little block.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, he's Batman. He might be.
He is Batman. He is Batman.
Okay. I will calibrate the cowl's vision mode to isolate. Yes, this is what I was trying to... This is one of those situations where, like, you're still in tutorial mode and, like, that actually hamstrings you because, like, I could have done... If I wasn't in tutorial mode, I wouldn't have died before because I was like, why can't I go up to that?
Well, I literally saw you looking up multiple times and it wouldn't give you the option to do it.
Yeah.
Although the game did hear you comment on its right foot problem, so it may have been like, where you asshole.
Oh, God. Oh, yes. Oh, I love this. I always loved being able to pull this off.
I do too. Don't worry, it just knocked him out. Or killed him by strangling. You really strangled him to death, but no, it's fine. He's fine. He's just napping permanently.
This always kind of was a little like, okay, these guys don't have peripheral vision, really? Like,
yeah.
You know? But hey, I'll take it.
Of course.
Okay, watch me kidney punch you. Okay. So if you've had any alcohol in your life, and frankly, by the looks of this guy's haircut, I'm sure he's had, probably a lot of prison wine, and I just punched him in the kidney.
Ooh,
this guy's gonna have some issues after he gets out.
For our listeners and watchers who don't know, please explain in frank detail what prison wine is. Now use very small Christian words.
Christian words.
Walk them through the process.
So it's basically wine that prisoners make in their toilet.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. They're dead. He didn't knock them out.
Yeah.
He killed them. They are dead.
This is, Batman, this is not cool. I always like just walking away from the Joker, like, while he would be talking. Just to be like, even though, like, a lot of time, now this was like later on in the series, I would do that if the Joker was talking to me, just because I loved hearing Mark Hamill talk. And also,
of course,
he hits us with stuff all the time as we go through.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do this area.
I know you're a hardcore Mark Hamill.
Okay.
We can do this area. Yeah, we probably do this area first and go ahead and call it. So that's his right foot.
That's his right foot, and that's his right leg. So that matches. So I wonder if they only animated the right foot.
One foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless of which side you're on the grate, it's still the same. It makes no sense. Yeah, that might be it then. Yeah. We can clear this room out. I was gonna say real quick before you go. I know you're a Mark Hamill enthusiast, but you have never seen any of Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
I have not. I know it's on Netflix now.
It is on Netflix now, but he's the big bad. I mean, he's the big bad in that show. So he does have a couple of pretty memorable lines. It's not the Joker, obviously, but it's cool to see Mark Hamill as like a straight baddie.
Oh man, they're not letting me do the hang down thing yet. Damn.
You have to get it. Remember, you have to earn that move.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or buy that move.
Screw it, I want it now.
It makes it so much easier.
Okay, let me. Oh yeah, I forgot. Detective mode. Oh, two armed, two not. Okay, let me glide kick this Joker. Not the Joker, but
nice pun. Nice pun. Done.
Okay. All right, that man is going to have some pretty bad dental work in his future.
His dental work. Again, no insurance.
Now my question. So, what kind of voice does he do for that character? Is it like a kooky, cranky?
No.
That's a word.
No.
Crazy, or is it like a?
It is not. It is very much the best way to put it is he's a big bad guy, but he's literally the Fire Lord. So he's a kind of like a regal, pompous type of character. He's someone that's, if you were a megalomaniac king, that's how you'd be. Like, I mean, yeah. So it sounds very regal. It's still Mark Hamill's voice, obviously, but there's no. Yeah, it's not like at all over. Oh, it's not. He's not hamming it up.
Okay. Because the reason why I ask is that Mark Hamill actually, and I think, is it the Darksider series? There's
the game series?
I want to say there's a I think it's the Darksider series where there's a character played by Mark Hamill, and it's essentially the Joker. Like he's essentially doing, like, it's not as, like, there's differences, but it's the Joker.
He's borrowing, yeah. Is he a baddie as well? Character?
Kind of. He's actually like one of those guys who like who helps you in a way, like but he's like a demon. Like the character is like a demon character.
Oh, character is okay. I see.
Yeah, and
I see.
And I just remember thinking like that's the Joker, Mark. Like,
because the idea is Joker is meant to be chaos incarnate anyways. So if you're playing a demon, it's kind of like it's not a stretch.
Yeah,
but his voice is similar to the Joker. As well,
it's very similar. And I was just a little worried that the voice would have been the same.
No, it's nowhere near that. No, it's nowhere near that.
That's good. That's good.
And let me ask you this. I think we had this conversation before off mic. So in your brain, when someone says the name Mark Hamill, what's the first thing you think of?
Oh, Joker.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Because you and I grew up in an age where we were inundated with Joker from Batman series.
Yeah.
The most. But obviously for our buddy Mick, you say Mark Hamill, he thinks of obviously.
Oh yeah.
Luke Skywalker first and foremost. Yeah.
Now, granted, Luke Skywalker is a very rapid second. Like it's you know.
Of course, it's iconic as hell.
Yeah, it's basically.
But I guess. Yeah. But I guess part of it is I like shit.
Hold on, let me. Must.
Yep, survive, Batman, survive.
Okay. Whew. I did like the life mechanic in this, where it's basically like you feed off beating up guys.
Yeah. You feed off beating up guys.
Yeah.
Like a vampire.
Exactly. Basically. All right.
See your last one? I'm sorry, I missed the count.
Yeah, he's the last one. I think.
Of course, the last one's the one. Yeah, it is. The last one's the one that saw you and started shooting at you.
Yeah. Thankfully, I can ground pound him. Oh my god! And that's a crotch shot right there. I didn't need. Okay, so
thankfully I can ground pound him, and there's a crotch shot. I am a good God-fearing boy.
Says you. Anyway. Okay, well, I think this is a good place to call it, and to get on that. So,
I do too.
Wait, yeah, it saved. It saved.
It auto saved.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, because this is a whole.
The whole cutscene.
Yeah, because Officer Bowles was murdered.
Yeah, Officer Bowles.
Yeah.
I love the game's got so advanced that the cutscene graphics are the same as actual in-game graphics. I love it.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really cool. It's but again, like you've still got the problem of the guards essentially looking like just balloons with things attached to them.
Yes, dear Nathaniel.
So yes. So yeah, that so I've taken us back to the regular view there. I don't know why I needed to call that out. I could just.
Sure. You need more booze. You're way too sober.
Yes, that's right. I forgot. Jeez, and I call myself an alcoholic. Anyway, so that's pretty much our show for this week. We let's get rid of the Batman music. The Batman music, while it's very mood inducing, it's not the mood that we want. So we will be watching The Amazing Spider-Man next week. Ethan and I will be doing a watch along at some point between now and then, and so check it out.
We'll announce it. We'll announce it also. So
we'll announce it. We'll put all the information out on the feeds, so that way you all know when we're going to be doing it, and that way you can join us and watch my reactions to this Oscar-winning. No, Oscar-winning cast do stuff.
Yeah, both. Yeah. Winning and nominated. Yeah.
By the way, I want to.
I can't.
I do want to throw out there. I remember today I learned today I learned on Reddit that I saw the other day that Suicide Squad won Oscars. So that surprised me.
You need to know that. You need to know that because the Marvel universe, the MCU, I don't think it has any Oscar. Not a one.
That makes.
I think and Black Panther was nominated for one. I don't think it got it.
Yeah, I don't think it got it.
So, whatever you want to say about the DC universe or DC Extended Universe films, whatever, they have an Oscar, and the MCU.
They have an Oscar. Yes.
So go to sleep on that. Go to
Oh,
sleep on that.
yes, and have nightmares. Okay, well, thank you all for watching. Ethan, is there anything else you wanted to say before I wrap this puppy up?
Yes. It's 2 winners. Emma Stone and Jamie Foxx both have Oscars, and Paul Giamatti nominated for an Oscar. All in the same movie that happened. All in the same movie.
And we need to remember that going in. And we need to try to remember it on the other side. That's
and Sally Field. Doesn't Sally Field have an Oscar?
Oh yeah. You like me. You really like me. Yes. Of course she does.
Yeah. That's right. Yes, for that.
Yeah.
For that part.
So
3 Oscar winners were in this film.
And are we sure Paul Giamatti doesn't have one? Like
I know he was nominated for. So I think he may have gotten an Emmy for John Adams. He was nominated for Sideways. I don't know if he ever got an Oscar though.
Okay. Well, we will research that and come back with an answer. But yeah. So anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But thank you again for joining us, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.
Johnny Sins.
Bye-bye.